What is going on, my dudes? Tystra here, back again with another Genshin Impact video. And if you guys like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified when the next episode comes out, or next video, however you want to say it. But anyways, guys, we are talking about my boy Heizou today because he came out, obviously, with version 2.8, and we want to talk about what kind of builds you could do with Heizou. Now, what's very cool about Heizou is that you could really use him with anybody for the most part. I don't want anybody attacking me in the chat. You could use him for almost everybody. Like, he works really well with certain people, but I digress. You didn't come here to just find that out. You want to know how to build him, and I'm here to help you out. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, as you can see here, I've got Heizou. Now, Heizou is really, really good when it comes to, attacking. So you really want to build him to attack. Now, one of his best books here is Lost Prayer of Sacred Winds, which is a 5-star weapon. I think this is one of his best books, but that doesn't mean entirely that it's his only option. He's got plenty of options. You could use Kagura's Verity as a 5-star. You could use Skyward Atlas. Both of those are really, really good. And also Memory of Dust, which is actually out on the weapon banner. So you have plenty of options. If you don't want to go the 5-star book route, you could go with a couple of different 4-stars. You have the Widsith, which is a lot of people's go-to weapon. You have Sacrificial Fragments. You have Malpa Mare. There's plenty of other ones that you could do. Like, Heizou is not very complicated, I should say. So you have plenty of really good options. Now, when it comes to anything else with Heizou, let's talk about his artifacts, okay? Now, his artifact set, I went ahead and I tried out 2 different sets for me, and I was going with a Animo DPS, and I ultimately wound up with liking 4-piece Viridescent more than anything. So you could run that. You could also run a 2-piece Viridescent, 2-piece 18% increase of attack, so like Sheena Nawas and Gladiators and so on. You could even use a 2-piece Wanderer's Trope, but honestly, I still would rather do Viridescent. So you could do that. Or you could run him as an EM DPS, so just straight Elemental Mastery. However, I chose to go Animo damage just because of the fact that, I like the way that it works. Now, when it comes to your substats, you definitely want to focus on certain things. As you can see here, I focused on making sure that my crit rate was over 70, which works really, really well for him, and having a high crit damage. So in an Animo DPS, you want to work on those. In an EM DPS, obviously Elemental Mastery is the way to go. Now, of course, the next thing you would worry about with Animo DPS or even EM DPS is attack percentage, followed by energy recharge afterwards. So you have plenty of different options you could go with. Now, let's talk about also the skill priority. Now, your main thing is going to be talent priority. You're going to want to make sure to go for the skill first. The skill is the most important thing of this build. You want to get it to 999 to see really, really good stuff. But you first want to work on your skill, followed by your normal attack, and then your burst. Because your burst, yeah, is really, really cool, but you're mainly going to be using your punchy moves. So, just putting it out there. So, outside of that, he's really pretty self-explanatory. Now, I have a C1 Heizou, which for 5 seconds after Heizou takes the field, his normal attack speed is increased by 15%. He also gains 1 Delusion stack for Heartstopper Strike. My apologies. But he has a lot of really, really good constellations. The pull effect of the arresting wind tunnel created by Wind Muster Kick is enhanced, and its duration is increased by 1 second. And then, obviously, your 3 and 4 are to increase skills. Followed by Constellation 4, the first Wind Muster Iris explosion in each Wind Muster Kick will generate 9 elemental energy for Heizou. Every subsequent explosion on that Muster Kick will each regenerate an additional 1.5 energy. So this is to keep him going, dude. It's ridiculous. And then the C6, each declension stack will increase the crit rate of the Heartstopper Strike unleashed by 4%. When Heizou possesses Conviction, the Heartstopper Strike crit damage is increased by 32%. He will be able to hit hard on C6, but honestly, C1 I really, really like in general. Now, Outside of that, like I said before, there's not a lot to Heizou that you really need to worry about, except for making sure that you pair him with somebody who is going to constantly attack. What better way to do that is for this team right here. As it loads up, boom. I am rocking Heizou with Yelan, Ganyu, and Shinobu. Now, obviously, all three of these units, while Shinobu's new and is just one of the characters I'm working on, they keep damage going. So you could run, like, let's say Kuki Shinobu in this sense. You could activate that and then go into Heizou and get that stuff going. You could also run Ganyu with her ult and you're going to do just fine. And the same thing with Yelan. We're going to showcase Yelan, Ganyu with Heizou because we're not going to worry too much about Kuki. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, I'm using the Electro Hypostasis to kind of show off just because of the fact that I want to show you guys what it could do. Let's see. Do that.
Here comes the catch. Blaze over.
Here we go. Now, we didn't kill him in one single phase, but I'd like to think that you kind of see what I'm going for on this. We dodge right there, and as you can see, without that, we're not getting too much, but if we do a little bit of that, damn it. We didn't get to show it off. Hold on. Now, watch as I show you this instead. Even with this, look at how he's getting his Heartstopper effect, and you can activate it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run over here just to kind of get away from our boy. Now, the thing with Heizou is that you have to have something going on to get your declension stacks. So right now, you could charge it, which is really, really good, and you don't need to worry too much. However, the whole point of getting the declension up is to get it up as fast as possible. You do have a cooldown, but the cooldown's not going to affect it too much. That's why you want to make sure you're getting those elemental reactions. You could get the animal one pretty easily, and also like be able to get those. But personally, my favorite, yes, I'm using a controller, don't mind me. But personally, my favorite combo right now is using Yelan with Heizou. You could even switch him for Xingqiu because they do the same thing. You activate Yelan's burst, you go in with Heizou afterwards, or even Xingqiu's burst, and you start hitting and hitting and hitting while you're getting that constant swirl reaction. And the more you do that, the better. Now, also, there's a little tip just to make sure that you guys know this, is that with him, you could do your normal attacks to get the swirl reaction, but one of the easiest things is to go and do your charged attack. This is going to get you... Oh my gosh, I don't know why it's doing that. This is going to get you your declension a lot faster comparatively instead of doing this because for some reason there's a little bit of a delay between strikes. So instead you could do this and get it a little bit quicker. So that's my thing for Heizou. Now again, as you saw, my damage is not exactly up to par with some other people, and that's not to say that my Heizou is bad, it's just more so it's not built comparatively to others. And still, with that, Heizou shows that he's able to be utilized a lot in teams. Now, I would also recommend using a Taser team, so you would have 2 Electro alongside Xingqiu, and then of course Heizou being your main. You could run him with, say, Beidou, Fischl, or even Kuki, like 2 of the 3 will work, and then put Xingqiu on the side. You're going to be able to get that Taser team going, especially for Spiral Abyss, and it works out really, really well. Otherwise, Heizou really works with any character that's not field DPS. Take, for example, Zhangling would work really, really well with Heizou, you know, and again, we talk about Yelan, Xingqiu, so many others that would work very good with Heizou. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys like Heizou for now? I would honestly say he's a lot of fun because of the fact that he's a new melee character. So I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Just for funness factor alone, I would literally put him a little bit higher for just the fun. But I have to be critical of him because yes, while he's good, he could have been better. I still think he's a very, very good 4-star to pull up. But again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Don't forget to hit that like and comment, subscribe down below, and of course, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe out there, everyone.